There are so many ways to start speaking in tongues. You have the classical method, of course, spittle spewed forth senselessly in a show of sanctified salvation. But if indeed gasping, gossiping gobbledygook does define closeness to God, then I find myself quite outclassed. A toddler might smite me at his choosing. Babies make the best priests. But so often I find myself encountering rapid, rabid tongue speak, which forms coherent words, if not coherent meaning. The world is filled with claptrap from sad saps, and, well, as one of them, I can't help but love it that way. 8 billion mouths yammer, pens scribble, keyboards click onwards, a cacophony of careless and copious, cantankerous and kind. Context and content. Not only am I surrounded by history's largest ever expanding library and theater flowing through the air like frickin' magic, but at any moment I desire, I can belt out my own irreticent ramblings like a printing press possessed by a medieval madman. But here's where I have to acknowledge that I might be a bit of an outlier. I was cursed not to be like the other girls, after all. A precocious, pedantic, pithy little pixie in my yester youth who can only now appreciate the inherent humanity in the breathless, raving rant. But in truth, for most people, anything but the most succinct of sayings is amongst the highest orders of peeves we keep as pets. It is to waste your time to speak without thinking, to take advantage of your own already stretched patience. To the great number of time-traumatized human beings, these are the true effects of what they may so easily dismiss as caliphantic piffle. And they're the exact reason that my particular crackpot ramble-rouser of a brain has kept from making anything for so very, very long. Okay, maybe a bit too theatrical of an opening, but here's the thing. I love when people are ridiculous. I think it's one of the highest forms of our shared humanity, giggling little goofballs that we are. But so many people view ridiculousness as just a waste of their time, and they respond promptly with the practiced shunning and shaming passed down from one generation of adults to the next, lest we realize just how gifted in goofiness our species really is, and I don't know, cause the collapse of an inherently exploitative society just by being fidgety flibberty gibbets one too many times? But creating things is an incredibly ridiculous process. To turn words or notes into deep meaning, strokes on canvas into brilliance, and light into concentrated emotion borders on the insane. It's not just difficult to do, it is difficult to conceive of. There is a deep initial terror at not being able to understand why you were even capable of creating whatever you did. But the thrill and beauty of creation overwhelms that fear and consigns it snarling to its cage, where it slowly becomes a docile animal of quiet curiosity, rather than the brutish existential question it first barges into our lives as. But there is one fear that always remains constant, always remains present in the mind of any artist who, like the overpropitious bedlamite we really are, elects to share what they make with the world at large. That ever-present subconscious query ventured at the end of every line, every frame, every stroke. Have I left too much insanity in what I have made? Will that majority crowd dancing to the synchronized ticks of their corrosive clocks consider what I have made a waste of their time? Shall they skewer me with the pitchfork of impatience, immolate me as effigy in their despisal of time itself? Tick-tock, little man in the TV. Yeah, okay, so here's the actual thing. I've been trying for 2 years now to make this YouTube video. with just this first YouTube video, but I keep psyching myself out about it. You're taking yourself and all the thoughts, looks, qualms, and insecurities that means, and stuffing it, not nearly enough of it, into this little bottle that you then drop into the vast, deep ocean that is the internet. A notoriously healthy and reasonable human activity which contains no consequences whatsoever. But which thoughts to cork? Which of my capricious cognitions is worthy of being shared with even the few people who will ever find this in the dusty catacombs that is small YouTube, let alone where the lights should go, the camera should be placed, how much of myself I can bear to share with you all. It is exhausting to create things, but always at the opportune point in the procession of post-midnight perfectionist meltdown, I return to the questions asked ever so gently, to the great lumbering beast of emotion I am prepared to admit I often become. Why did you want to start a channel in the first place? Why risk being weighed, measured, and found wanting? If you don't think the majority of people will like what you make, then why make it? And all inevitably lead to the same gentle answer. I crave to be ridiculous. It is my right as a human being to make a complete fool of myself, but very much enjoy it. To write things that make me giggle uncontrollably, speak truth to things over which I have been simmering silently, and press onwards in growing the parts of myself I have only just come to love ever more beautifully. So burn me in effigy for wasting your time. Cut out the closest thing to a tail that I have for wagging it needlessly. But I'm just gonna keep dancing to the music, searching for the vibe, speaking in tongues. My name's Jacob, this is my pretentiously named channel, and thank you for watching.